Welcome back, you old blade lovers, you young and old. Older like me, maybe. I don't know who follows this channel. I haven't done the stats on it, but I'm hoping we got some young folk out there. Those are mainly the ones they say are interested in knives, but hey, us older guys are interested too. OG Blade Reviews. I've got Artisan on the table today. This is my own purchase from White Mountain Knives. You can get 10% off by using OG-Blade as your discount code for your whole order, not just one knife. What do we got? The Revel. Well, the Revel, not Rebel, you rebels, but Revel, according to Merriam-Webster, can function both as a noun and a verb. Bet you feel like you're back in high school again. As a verb, it means to take intense pleasure or satisfaction in something. We're going to revel in this knife, I think. It's a button lock. It is a Bowie clip, brown FRN handle, and Artisan rather. Yeah. It's interesting because it's a more budgety blade, well under 100, but it's they're using the Artisan banner instead of CJRB, which is kind of interesting. You know, we don't know what's coming next. They do give you a pouch, as you get with Artisan tier knives. You get the NAF, of course, and a nice brownish, beigeish microfiber cloth. All right. What is it? The Revel. Not the Rebel. It's a design by none other than the prodigious Ray Laconico. We're going to open it in a moment, but I want to show you that we've got a deep carry clip. Switches to the left side should you need to carry it there, you lefties. Flat-headed screws, surface-mounted clip. Deep carry, as I said. Spring steel, pretty good tension on there. No wimp. And there is your button in the closed position, standing quite a bit proud of the handle. FRN, meaning this is a molded handle. It's not machined out. And it's got like a little 1/3 backspacer, hidden lanyard pin, and why not open it? Middle finger flick. This one, black blade, was the only one I could find. It seems like these have been popular. I think a lot of people like that blade style, that long clip. That is a real long clip. I'm going to show you another one with a real long clip a little later for compare. But with button locks, I'm always interested how they do with, now that's got some stick to it, okay? I will say, I'm going to be entirely honest with you. We got jumping there, but let's get back to the button again. Pretty good long throw, and it's not closing yet. And there it is. So I really have to get the button there or a little below there. Watch it pop up. See? So it's got a fairly long throw, and see if I can show you how far down it goes before it disengages. Right there. So not bad. I mean, what I'm trying to avoid with button locks is accidentally pushing it while you're working with the knife or doing something more dangerous than that. Hopefully not. And yeah, it's not bad. I've really got to press in to get it to close. And that may not make it more fidgety, but it makes it more safe. And there are knives that are doing an even better job than that. And I would certainly give the hats off to Vosteed. I don't have a Vosteed on the table, but I got plenty of them. But the Vosteed knives using the Trek lock, T-R-E-K lock, they've got it really mastered so that it's very difficult to accidentally close the knife, particularly on your fingers. There's a thumb open, and here's a button open. Come on. There we go. Button open and close. And there we go. Kind of pump up the light a little bit. So the only opening method, unless you're going to gravity open it with the button, is that oval-shaped window hole in the blade. I was talking about the jimping. It's pretty effective even on a blackened blade. And usually when they coat the blades after they jimp, that can be a little on the smooth, soft side. It's just about right. Not too hard on the thumb. Lock up, no lock rock, no blade play. They're doing a great job with that. Just about all knife companies nowadays. I don't think I've run across, I think probably 95% of the knives I review, they're all solid. No play, no lock rock. It locks up on a pin, fairly small, thin pin in the back, but we got a fairly thin blade stock as well. Having mentioned that, length, 8 inches exactly. We're going to call the blade 3.5 inches because it'll change a little as we go through the contour of the handle there, but 3.5 inches. Pretty easy, even measurements so far. Handle thickness, 0.48, so under a half. Blade stock, 0.09. Yeah, it is pretty thin. In millimeters, the blade stock, 2.5 millimeters. And the handle, 12.1 millimeters. Weight. You just wait. Huh, bad joke. Let's go to grams for you metric folks. And we've got 104.28 grams, or what does that say? 3.678. Call that 368 ounces. Shut off, you. Okay, so got some other NAFs out here. First of all, to show you another Bowie style clip point, there is the Tacticorix by Civivi. Quite a bit larger. Yeah, quite a bit larger, 1.5 inches or so longer overall. Somewhat taller blade. They left it tall right in through here, and they waited till they brought the clip down. This clip starts way back here. Hollow grind on this Civivi. Yep, as far as I can feel. Flat grind on the Revel. And they're using this really new kind of interesting shred G10, not shred carbon fiber, but shred G10 on the Civivi Tacticorix. It is a liner lock, by the way. Now we have the Sencut Watauga, a classic Wharncliffe style blade with a nice finger choil there. Button lock. Let's see how this one does. A little bit of stick on that too. You know, if you're not using them and these aren't too used, then it takes a little while to break that button in. Of course, a lot of them are real dry in there, and it's the passageway through the handle material, through the liner, and sometimes the plunge lock here going inside the opposite liner that can all be potential places for the knife to stick. But I will say, especially because of that little bit of stick there, I'm pushing pretty hard. And I would say that's set up just a little bit better than the Revel as far as the safety of the button lock goes. This one also has a switchable deep carry clip, black blade. Let's bring the big guy down here. Watauga, Revel, Tacticorix. And I happen to have a CJRB, which is Artisan's lower tier, budget tier. This is the Feldspar button lock. This is a special edition. I think this was done for White Mountain. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's done for White Mountain. Got that interesting swirl G10 going on there. and they just kind of mix, kind of like mixing paints, when the plastic is molten. And then it is machined to shape. It is not molded as with the Revel. And how's the button doing on this guy? It's softer. Okay, so yeah, it's of the three button locks on the table here. I would say the Wataugas definitely takes the furthest push with the thumb to get the blade to disengage. Next would be the Revel, and then easiest would be the CJRB. Depending on your use, if you're just cutting stuff with it and you're pushing in the direction of the blade, not doing too much point work, you're not using it in a tense situation, not too much to worry about. I do like the Hogues. They came out with some of the first button locks. They called them plunge locks, and they all still are, in a matter of speaking, plunge locks. But they got a safety on there. It's a lot like an auto. In fact, most of their button locks are set up to be either an auto or a button lock. Which comes to mind, have you seen that new Work Sharp knife that's coming out? I think the second batch is coming out early in June. I think about another week from the dropping of this video. So I got my eye on those. It can be an automatic with a spring in it. You can take the spring out, and it can be a button lock. And magnesium handle, really nice. So I got some, what do I have with magnesium? I got some stuff with magnesium. Laptops, how about that? Well, magnesium alloy laptops. And people are worried about things catching on fire. I don't think so. Talking about pure magnesium like they used in World War II. They dropped it in bombs on roofs, and it burned so hot it burned through all the floors, hits the basement, and blows up. So that's how they destroy an entire structure. Just a little trivia there. How about, for our finale compare here, Griptilian by Benchmade. And that is right about exactly. I knew I was going to say that. Escalating levels of severity there. The same size overall, same blade size as well. So if you got a Griptilian, that's a Griptilian sized, except the Griptilian is an axis lock, aka bar lock. Let me know. Whoa, wait a minute. We're supposed to do a cutting test. Almost left without the cutting test. Well, wow, that was a hack. All right. I wasn't drawing, I was just pushing. As long as you're drawing, paper's fairly easy. It's kind of messy, but maybe one day I'll get to doing meat cuts and just destroy perfectly good roasts and pork loins and that kind of thing. But probably worth it. I'll make sure I pick up the pieces off the ground and cook them right up, put them in my stew. Right about now, you'll see my logo over here, OG Blade Reviews, and if you click on that and you have not yet subscribed, that'll bring you to a place where you can subscribe. And I hope everybody watching will subscribe, because you'll get notification when I put up new videos. So, or anything else. Maybe have a contest. Maybe have a giveaway. Never know. Thanks for coming. Be well. Take care. Stay safe.